Davide Ancelotti, welcome back to the channel. We're here for a quick live stream talking about this guy because you know what, there's a game on tonight, and I mean, I'm sure I'll debate and talk about this guy later on, but why not talk about him a wee bit earlier on and also talk about the fact that we do have Dundee United against Rangers at Ibrox later on the night. So we'll let a few people get into this live stream and then we'll dive a wee bit more into it. As for, right, let's see here, like channel, I mean, 20 past 2 might not be the best time to do a live stream, but as for channel badges and pictures beside members, I'm going to update that after this video, after this stream even. So someone just remind me as I'm ending it to do that, even though I will remember, but for the sake of it. But Davide Ancelotti, I haven't really made a full vid on him on this channel, so I feel like this is kind of it, right, where we're going to be open for discussion and all that. But to wrap it up, man, he's a 35-year-old coach. Now, the Spanish journalist whose name I'm going to absolutely botch, so we'll show it on screen here. All right. Oh, that's very bright. That's very bright. Him. Whatever you call him. Let's actually attempt it. Jalim Balag. Jalim Balig. Jalim Balig. Jalim Balig. Is that it? Jalim? That's just not it, isn't it? Not, but we all know who he is. Davide Ancelotti is one of the world's most sought after coaches. I'm just not convinced, to be honest. Wait, where's this guy's actual quotes? Because that's what's interesting, not what STV News are saying. So this is what he had to say regarding this guy. I would say he's one of the best coveted or most sought after assistants in the world to be converted into a number one. Because, of course, having been with Carlo Ancelotti as his first team assistant in different levels at Bayern Munich, Napoli, Everton, and Real Madrid, he's got a whole lot of experience. But what has happened, especially in the last 2 years at Real Madrid, is that he's actually become what you could say is a first team head coach with Carlo Ancelotti was the manager. So Carlo chose the starting 11. He basically tried to balance the egos. Didn't fully work this season, but David was the one put in the work every day. And of course, yeah, Real Madrid have had a really shit season by their standards. I mean, I think if Real Madrid don't win a Champions League, they call it shit. They've won that many. Here, this guy is one of the most highly respected La Liga. Journalist Spanish. He is. I'm not going to say he's a liar, but this whole he's pretty much the guy that's picking the team, and it just screams of Michael Beale, right? And as Caden says, Spanish Michael Beale. Don't know if he's that bad, but it screams of Michael Beale. And I'm not saying he's as bad as Michael Beale, but if you remember, right? Oh, Michael Beale, he was the brains behind 55. Are people going to turn around and say that David, right, was the brains behind Carlo? Because that's what it sounds like we're actually getting dangerously close towards. And I'm not. I don't know. What do I think? What do I think about the new Rangers top for next season? Someone said it looks like the 23-24 kit. I think it looks like the 22-23 kit with the just the collar being changed. It doesn't look like the 23-24. It looks like the 22-23. But yeah, it's just fucking. See, to be honest, right? I don't care about the kit. Like I've said, we could wear a bin bag. See, as long as you win stuff in it, I don't care. But what I do care about is the price. And let's get into that. Kev says 80 quid for it. I know. Blueback says got the new top. It's the 80 fucking quid, but it's going. Yeah, I like it, but I haven't got it yet, right? But 80 quid's 80 quid's a lot of fucking money. 80 quid. I wasn't really. The black stripes are a bit not on ours, but I don't like black stripes. I think black stripes only work on certain. I think Arsenal had one with the yellow and the black stripes. That looked all right, but so, I like the kit, but 80 quid's a lot of money. At least it's different than what it's been in previous years, but that was to be expected with it being Umbro. I mean, I like the wee promo package they showed with Umbro yesterday, but 80 quid's 80 quid, you know what I mean? Usually it's 75, isn't it? But here, it's inflation, folks. See, in 5 years, you'll be paying 100 quid for a football top. And then you factor in the authentic pro kits, or whatever they're called. I mean, how much is that going to be? I don't know. But yeah, 75, 80, Yeah, some good moments have happened under Umbro. Can't dispute that. They're going to happen next season. Well, hopefully David can use some of that Italian magic and do the smackdown. Big Jelavic, absolutely. What would you do if Umbro would dare put black stripes in the Rangers kit? I just no, I wouldn't like black stripes on it because it just I don't think black complements red, white, and blue. I think when you're doing a away kit and you've got black and orange, I think or like black and red, that works, but not. I think four colours on one kit is overkill. I do think that. So, but yeah, I think it's a nice kit. £80. I'm sure most people have already bought it, and it's not a case of it's £80 today and it's going to be 60 in a month's time. It's not. It's going to be. They always tend to be about £80 until like November, and you might get some form of sale and they might charge you 79 or something. I know how they work. The AC/DC range, I'm out in the way the hell, but it's toasty. I tell you that. Dark green. That's even worse than black. Right, what else is this guy saying? Galim Berlegny, huh? So let's see. Last summer, Sofia approached him and he felt it wasn't the right time. Also, Brazil approached both Carlo and David and they both said, no, it just doesn't feel right having won everything with Real Madrid. What I know for sure is what stands right now, despite all the offers that David's getting, his first choice at the moment, unless something nice, as he says, comes out and convinces him otherwise, he will join Carlo Ancelotti with Brazil. So that's what it stands from this moment. End of quote. It's a bit weird, isn't it? So the rumours he's linked with Leverkusen. He's turned down Sevilla, but he's going to come to us. But we're a safer bet than Leverkusen or Sevilla, right? Because I say it's cutthroat, but I feel like with Leverkusen and Sevilla, right, you do run the risk of instead of battling for like top four or around about the European spots, you could finish like 16th. I don't think you could. Well, I mean, 16th might be a bit low in the Bundesliga. That'd be relegation, but you know what I mean. Look how bad this season was. We still finished second. I feel like there's room for manoeuvres with us. It's like you're always just going to finish as low as second unless the team beneath you does really well. But that doesn't give it any excuse, by the way, because there'll be people on his back. But what's going to happen? Is he going to be given time like Gerrard was? Gerrard rebuilt us from here. It took 3 seasons to win a league title. Let's be honest, folks. I don't think there is much time. Most people watching this and are talking about Ancelotti and want a manager that we want to win next season. Is that going to happen? Well, we'll have to wait and see. If he gets announced, I'm going to be backing him until I can't back him anymore. And that's as simple as that. No, of course we're bigger than Sofia and Leverkusen, but I'm surprised that just factor in the money. Maybe the 49ers. Maybe the 49ers have they've gave this guy the blank checkbook just for himself, and then they went, you're signing no one. But yeah, it also confirms that the what do you call it, the takeover's happening, isn't it? So what you're saying about Ancelotti, says Blue Mac, I'm not a fan of this appointment. This either has the writing of a massive success or an absolute disaster, and I feel that second option. Yeah, I think it's relatively. I think you can compare it to Gerrard first time around, and also Ange, where it was like complete left field risks. I'm not even going to put Beale in there because I feel like with Beale, he was at Rangers before. Apparently, he was the brains. He then went to QPR, and he was managing, in Britain, so it wasn't quite like under 17s or whatever. So it wasn't, but they both worked out to be all right, Gerrard and Ange. So we'll have to wait and see how this guy's going to go. We'll see. I wouldn't have mind. I wouldn't have minded Knutson. I want Knutson over this guy. Ange was mocked by the Scottish press despite having a 15-year career. Difference in narrative is wild in Scotland. Well, apparently to Barry Ferguson, it's because he's Scottish. That's why he's getting mocked. Him and McCann, Dodds, and McGregor, which is just absolutely ridiculous, by the way. Right? See, how can you think that? It's like he talks about he wants to be shown respect. He should show us respect. It took you 3 months to win a game at Ibrox. You were averaging conceding 2 goals a game, and despite how shite the team is, and trust me, we all know how shite the team is, that's not good enough. You know what I mean? The defensive stats in the league since he came in, we ranked 12th in most categories, and if it's not 12th, it's 11th or 10th. That's unacceptable. Yeah, this team's shite, but Barry is embarrassing himself every press conference, and people are saying, "Nah, we got an agenda against Barry." What's the agenda? There's no agenda. He can't get the job. And it's not a case of, well, he should never get it. He literally can't get it, so he needs to just shut up. It's got nothing to do with where he's from, right? Whatever. You know what I mean? Nothing to do with it. Honestly, how can anyone sit here and defend Barry Ferguson's 3 months? I wish I could, but I can't. You know what I mean? Yeah, 4 points out of 6 against Celtic. And for a novice, as some people put it, that's no bad. He put out Fenerbahce, that's good, but the rest of it, man, the rest of it's bogging. Can't sit here and defend it. Yeah, I'll do a watch along later, don't worry. What is it, quarter to, is it 8? No, it's quarter to 8. I'll be there, all right? You know what I mean? Yeah, but there's people commenting saying that, oh, you're banging the order about Ferguson. But he talks about the standards of the club, right? And how, well, I know I'm the man to take it forward and we've done the best we can. Well, if this is the best that you can, mate, then you can't take us forward. That's it. I'm sorry, man. That's the truth. I'm not going to fucking pretend because he's a club legend that he's the guy. It's no good enough. 3 fucking months to get a win at home. Yeah, and there's been tough ones in there. Bilbao, Celtic, Fenerbahce, right? See those 3 games, by no means are they 3 guaranteed games should be winning, but Motherwell, Hibs, come on. You know what I mean? It's unacceptable, man. It's like people were even saying, right, when he first got the job, he would literally have to win every game and win the Europa League to have a chance of winning the job. Here we are midway through May. He just got his first win. Oh man. Are you calling me a novice? Yes, I am. I mean, would he accept it? I don't see how. If Davide Ancelotti, right, is coming in, Barry's going to be nowhere near it. I mean, I've liked the fact that Barry, right, he hasn't really sugarcoated things, but that's about it, man. His pressers have been refreshing, but at the same time, every one he just talks about, well, he just talks about, well, I'm putting myself out there. I could do the job. Yeah, no, you know what I mean. It's like I've said before, Beale and Clement, shite as they were, they got bounces right when they came in. We went on runs. We have went on a crawl. No one used to play zombies in Call of Duty and used to be a crawler. That is what it's been like for us. There's been no running. There's been nothing, man. It's been tragic. It is. I mean, we're talking about playing 5 at the back against teams that are like 10th in the league. Conceit. I mean, see when defensively we're the worst team in the league since he came in. I don't care how shite you think Proper is, Nansala, Suter and Balogun, Tav and Yefty. There's there's not really international. I mean, Balogun's international and John Suter, right? There's a few internationals, but we're talking guys that are worth millions here compared to pennies of the other teams. What's the excuse? You need to get something better out of them. You keep playing the same fucking players, Barry. Oh, they're not listening to a word they're saying, so I'm going to keep picking them. Oh man, I just don't get it. Blue Mac, I'll always love Barry for what he did as a player, but he's going to tarnish his reputation. He doesn't accept he's no good enough. I know, and then the whole thing about, well, me and my backroom staff are Scottish. That's why we're not getting treated with respect. Yo, maybe right if he was managing Celta Figo or he was in Italy managing, I was going to say Sampdoria. I think they just got relegated to Serie C or whatever. But if he was in a different country, right, you could be like, well, maybe they don't show respect. But what I think he's getting shown too much respect to a degree. Look at all the pundits. Chris Boyd, he steadied the ship. Gordon DL on Super Scoreboard, he steadied the ship. All these people are talking about steadying the ship. The results have been worse than Clement. We're further behind Celtic, despite beating them and drawing against them. We've picked 4 points out of 6 against them. We're further behind them. We're 4 points. I don't get Barry, man. I don't get this. I get it, Boyd, right? Played with him. I just, oh, I don't. Yeah, where's the steady the ship from, folks? Come on, where's the steadying of the ship? We are defensively as bad as we ever were this season. Nothing's been steadied. We need to be honest. No, let's be honest, right? See that assistant guy, the Moroccan guy that's the assistant, despite he's got about 4 guys beside. Say he took over and Barry in the new Orange Order didn't. Would Chris Boyd turn around and say that guy, right, had steadied the ship? No, he wouldn't have. Right, that's the fucking truth of it, and no one else would. They'd be like, "Oh, you could argue he's done a worse job than come on," but everyone's trying to pretend. Like, why are they pretending that we're 4 points behind Celtic? We're still, and we're like in the final of the Europa League taking on Tottenham or something. We're not. We're fucking. We've nosedived even further than what we were. I don't get it. I know that Boyd and Boyd and Big Derek. I don't understand that. I just. I don't. That was weird. That he was speaking like he wasn't there, like he wasn't sat next to him. Crazy. I'd argue since Barry's come in, we've let in more goals that short spell in the entire season. How many games we went 2-0 behind? Baffling. No. Absolutely. But yeah, I don't want to rant on Barry. Love the guy. But what is there to say? I'm sick of this narrative that's being spun that he steadied the ship and that he thinks he's got a chance of getting the job. I mean, he is 20-1 on Bet365. See if you don't have a paper shredder in your house and you just want to piss your money away, stick it on that because he's never in a million years getting the job. All right? Never. Never, man. Never. You know what I mean? I'm baffled, man. I can't even believe I can't. He's talking about respect. He's disrespecting us, but I think he's got a chance. And I get it, right? Of course he wants to manage Rangers. Am I expecting him to fully commit and say, here, I've been shite. I don't even know why I'm still even in the interim manager. I'm not, I've no chance of becoming the manager, man. I've done worse than that baldy fraud before me. He's not going to turn around and say that, right? But he could just be a bit quiet. Why not just seeing they ask him about taking the job permanently? Why not just like, well, I'm just here to the end of the season. That's up to Rangers to decide. Instead of putting himself forward, oh, I know I could do it. I could do this. I could do that. I don't think you can do anything, Barry. Son, I don't. I really don't. And yeah, don't know what to say. Anyway, right. So yeah, Davide Ancelotti. What can he do? Hopefully, Gerrard will come back. Would we take Gerrard over Ancelotti? I think most people would. He said, right, and I quote, I'm pretty sure that if somebody convinces David with Como or Rangers or any of the other offers he's got, he's mostly attractive at going to the Premier League, even considered 6 months back to Championship. But the kind of offers that he's getting at the moment means that he actually wants a first division side. End of quote. Well, there you go. If he wants to move to the Premier League, right, considering he's one of the most sought after guys, then this guy's a good journalist, so I'm not going to bash him. Maybe he is one of the best sought after coaches, right? But it's a tough one, man. As people are saying, right, and it's not just one person. I'm seeing it on Twitter. This could either be the best manager we've had in donkeys, or this could be David in a bush, Pedro style. And I don't think there's going to be any in between. It's like I'm seeing the memes like, oh, Ancelotti scratching his head why his 2 ball playing centre backs can't cut it at Dingwall, can't cut it, away at bloody Rugby Park, and all the other fucking memes that come with it. It's kind of funny, but it won't be funny when it happens next season. But to get rid of doubters, man. Got to win games of football. That's it. It's all right me bashing the appointment and other people bashing it and having question marks, but if he gets us into the Champions League, right? If he gets us, if we're sitting top of the table come October, then that's going to win people over. If he wins the League Cup in December, that'll win people over. But if it's like the last couple of seasons and you're 9 points behind, you're out the League Cup in the quarters or something, you're mid-table in the Europa League because you failed to get into the Champions League for about the 10th season in a row, and it's just going to be the same old pish. And then it's going to be like, well, do you sack him? We'll probably be sitting in November about, right, get him out. He doesn't understand what Rangers is about. Never did. Stupid appointment. We said this back in May. But that's football, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a risk, and I like risks, but I just don't think the club's at the certain stage right now that we can afford to take a risk, because if we're going to have more money to spend in recent seasons, which I think we will with the 49ers, I'm not sitting here and saying it's 40 and 100 million or 140 million, 50 million, right? But is it smart giving it to this guy? You know what I mean? This guy's never had a job before. Like say we're going to spend, right, 20 million and then whatever you want in player sales, right? Would you rather this guy or Steven Gerrard? I'd rather Steven Gerrard spending it. Like what I can see is this guy bringing in a bunch of guys for La Liga, maybe young Real Madrid players and Italian players, and it's going to hit them like a brick wall playing in Scottish football, and we could just be left with a team that works well in Europe, but doesn't work well in Scotland, which where we had that before. Gerrard couldn't beat Rodgers. Last time I checked, right, Steven Gerrard and Brendan Rodgers are 1-1 apiece. So maybe reel it in on that front. At this moment in time, we need a safer option, someone that can absolutely guarantee success, even if it's for a short term. Yeah. I mean, Big Derek's going to Hearts, folks. Would we have took him? You're best. Huge gamble, but could be worth the risk. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But yeah. I mean, like I think I said in the video earlier, I mean, I'd rather him over other people like the Wayne Rooneys, the Russell Martins, the guys like that. I mean, safer options like Sean Dyche, Gerrard. I mean, I'd rather Muscat or Knutson. I think they are kind of a risk in their own right, but they've proven it. You know what I mean? Everybody's kind of a risk. You know what I mean? Like we can talk about Gerrard all we want, but just because it worked the first time round doesn't mean it's going to work the second time round. You know what I mean? And if he leaves the second time round with one trophy in there, I think most people would be happy with that. So we wouldn't be, especially if it was a League Cup, not a league title. It's like with Gerrard at the beginning, we got him because his name was Steven Gerrard. It's the same with Ancelotti, but what does give me confidence, the 49ers must trust him. Yeah, it confirms that the takeover is about to happen, doesn't it? That's it. Hold on here. Buddy. Ryan Jack beat Rodgers at Ibrox. And then he left the March time, 2019. I remember that day. I was working. Missed the first half. Missed the goal, but got in. That was the days of pushman Pat. New top was nice. Yeah, I just can't. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. Ancelotti, I can see the football improving, but is the football, is Ancelotti going to get us to win like 5 games in a row around Christmas time when it's -5, pissing down, snowing? Is he going to get us through those games? I'm not convinced, man. I think it's going to, see on paper, Ancelotti's linked with this job. He may be looking at it and be like, oh, Ibrox, going to Parkhead, Easter Road, Tynecastle. But I don't think he's thought about, Rugby Park, Dingwall. I don't think I think it's the same like with Clermont. I think it's easy to think like the home games, but it's the away games that kill you. You know what I mean? The teams that just put fucking 10 guys behind the ball. I'm not having a diss at them because see we do it and it works and then you stick to it if you're one of those teams. But you know, it's one. Yeah, and see another thing, right? Let's just wrap it up on this, right? It's one thing being the assistant at Real Madrid, the richest team, the best team in the land. Like I know Barca's beating them to the league title, but it's Real Madrid, folks. See Davide Ancelotti bringing Rodrigo off the bench for Vinicius Junior, right? Or putting them in whatever, and Jude Bellingham and Mbappe against fucking who Deportivo, right? That's one thing. See trying to get Dessers to get a goal against Kilmarnock with 25 minutes to go when you're 1-0 down. That's a whole different kettle of fish, man. You know what I mean? He'll be gone by January. We'll have to wait and see, but yeah, we know the score, man. These midweek games, cold, pissing down, evening kickoff. I just think Ancelotti's arse is going to fold, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say he's used to playing against low block sides, but we don't have the quality of Real Madrid, obviously. You know what I mean? I respect the guy that's wrapping up, working with all them to play with Sergio Dessers. But you know what, though? It would just be better if Carlo Ancelotti was still at Real Madrid. Because see if he was still at Real Madrid, I feel like we would be able to maybe get some decent, prospects at Real Madrid, and maybe like, even fringe players or something. Not talking about Jude Bellingham, but decent enough players. But yeah, Xabi Alonso's going to take that ranking again. The guy's only 35, Ancelotti, 36 in July. A lot of people will be older than him. Crazy time, folks. Do I think the 49ers overhaul your wage structure? I don't know. I need to see. Yep. Watch along later. I'll be there. Can't wait for it. Last game at Ibrox. Needs to be a win, doesn't it, Barry? One Barry. You know what, Barry? See if you win the night, I'll let you have the job. How about that? Huh? Give me 2 wins in a row, and maybe we can trust you. But I know. Like Ancelotti, right, will have a different team next season. But imagine if Ancelotti came in and he had the form that Barry's had since he came in the job. He'd probably be sacked. That's the truth. So I'll have to wait and see. We'll go to half an hour here. We've got 2 minutes to go. But yeah, I will do a watch along later. But I think we'll beat Dundee United quite comfortably. Obviously, St Mirren play Hibs. Dundee United will need to. Still a lot to play for in the top 6, just not the top 2 positions that we would want to play for. Obviously, it'd be funny if Dundee United didn't finish in Europe. I mean, St Mirren could technically finish 4th. No, Celtic play Aberdeen. Aberdeen, that shite team. Aberdeen, I think, are on the verge of on it. I'll go 3-1 Rangers against Dundee United. Sam Dalby, I think he'll get a goal. Someone will probably tell me he's injured or something. Score predict, yeah, 3-1. So you went 3 against Aberdeen. Yeah, Aberdeen we were shocking in the first half, man. But Aberdeen are ranked wrong. Nothing good about them. Yeah, Celtic will beat Aberdeen. I think St Mirren could beat Hibs. St Mirren are in really good form. And St Johnstone at Tynecastle, they need to win. Dundee against Ross County, they could play for a draw and both guarantee safety. So, what to play for the night? Check out Fog Football Bay. Review show later on the night, and also Livingston beat Partick last night. I was kind of surprised about that. I like the new home top, but it's a bit dear, isn't it? I mean, 80 quid's a lot of money. 80 quid's an insane amount of money when you think of it. And I think the game's gone. See, releasing the next season's kit during the current season, I don't agree with that, man. I'm not saying don't release the kit until the start of August or something, but I would save it until the start of June. I mean, it's one more thing to look forward to. What good is it releasing the kit today. Now, what they'll say is, oh, you can wear it to the last game at Ibrox and shit like that. But for me, I would just wait to June. But yeah, I'm not in charge yet. Can bet on Dundee United getting a goal, but I think of how much we'll score. Just hope Barry fucking plays Igamani for. I know. I'm sick of saying it, man. See the night. It'll be the same fucking 11 that played against Aberdeen. Because in his eyes, right? In his eyes, that's what worked. Now I think Igamani might start, but he won't be playing up front. He'll be playing where Barami played because Barami came off injured. Talking about another shite bastard. Barami, man, not very good. And that Albanian football guy who was kissing his arse for most of the season was like, oh, Barami's refused to play football since October. Well, he wasn't saying that in November and December. But it was all Philip Clement's fault. Barami's rotten, man. Barami's. What is it? We are spending 4 million on guys that are just rank rotten. Barami, Cortez, Proper. I think he was free, but I mean, still stands, doesn't it? Ben Davies, crap. Yeah, we'll all buy it. 80 quid. I mean, only constellation of it being 80 quid is gives the club a lot of money. They're going to spend it right, though. I'm not convinced. Anyway, folks, that's it. I'll be back later if I watch along 7:45. So it's not on Sky, though. It's on Rangers TV. Can't wait to listen to Tom Miller. But Proper was 1.5. Fuck, I thought Proper was free. There you go. You learn something new every day. I mean, even if Proper was free, as in RFEE, still would have been shite. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, till then, Pooch, your best.